Hey everybody, Darlington Farm here. Welcome to the new shop. I don't have insulation or heat or air conditioning yet, but I got 483 phase on the back wall. That's pretty exciting. All right, let's go for a little walk around the shop here. I want to show you guys what all is going on. It is the 16th of February, and yeah, kind of the snapshot of the progress on the shop here. So I started working on this building, oh geez, if you go back and look at my videos, Cow Barn Machine Shop, I want to say like 16 months ago, something like that, I started replacing these posts. So all down the sides of this building here, the posts were rotted off, and when the wind would blow, you could kind of see the whole side of the building. Do one of those numbers, so replaced all those, drug the old concrete out of here, the little bit of concrete that was here, was kind of in this back corner, drug all that out of here. New skirt boards, new, 8-foot on the bottom posts there. Just did basically everything I could to get ready. And then finally this spring, poured concrete in here. My buddy Josh helped out with that one. Him and his guys came out, and actually they did a really nice job on the concrete floor. Did 6 inches of concrete with rebar every 24 inches, and then poured a footer in front of the door there to keep it from heaving with freeze thaw, and then to give me a little bit of a platform there where when I pour an apron out there, I can tie it all together. That was the big part. That's not something you can do by yourself. I didn't really get any video of it. I was trying to help out as much as I could. Concrete sucks. Pay somebody else to do it. But now that actually the concrete is in here, I have been working, and I have been mainly trying to focus here lately on the electric. I put in 8 of those LED or 250 watt LED lights. We've got 15 foot to the trusses in here, so I've got enough ceiling for them, or enough area for it to kind of diffuse. Makes it really nice in here. It's about 20 amps worth of LED lights. Super bright, really like the way that is in here. I put a new electric box. So right there, I put in a new 200 amp box. It's currently being fed by a 100 amp piece of SCR. Doing some other renovations out here at the farm. This summer, I'm probably gonna put a 400 amp electric box in out there, run a 200 amp service to the house, a 200 amp service out here. So I didn't really want to mess with that, but I'm trying to, do this a little bit at a time here. So I got my new electric box. Every outlet in here has its own breaker. I did not want to have one breaker for a bunch of different outlets. So every outlet has its own breaker. So that's why you see a monstrous wad of Romex back there. And then coming out of there, I have right there a 15 horsepower phase converter. So what that does is that takes the 2 phase legs coming out of this breaker box here to 3 phase legs coming out of there. There's a 15 horsepower motor that sits outside the building there, so I don't have to listen to it. That uses uses the motor to generate the 3rd leg, and then from there I have that running to a disconnect that then powers 3-phase 220 outlets in here, and then I have another disconnect there that goes down to a transformer there that steps up the 220 volt 3-phase or 240 volt is 3-phase to 480 volt 3-phase. And then I have on a bunch of posts here right there, no, not that one, that one right there. I've got a 480 outlet on top and then a 220 outlet on the bottom. And then I also have some 50 amp single phase 220 outlets around the building here. So a whole lot of electric work. That came out to, between the transformer, the phase converter and all that, about 5,000 bucks. Wire is really, really expensive right now. Also these lights right there came out to about 1,200 bucks. So spendy. Definitely like the, this project has been pretty expensive. The concrete in here, I ended up putting in 37 yards. Since I did it in the winter, they charge a little bit extra. It was $160, $165 a yard. So you can do the math on that one. It was pretty spendy. So if you're rehabbing a building like this, it definitely is going to end up costing more than you would think, or you would think it oughta. Right now, my next thing is going to be getting the insulation done, and I'm just now getting ready to put up more of that thermal barrier stuff. I believe it's like R4 and it's supposed to stop most of the heat before it gets to your insulation. I've looked at spray foam, and actually I thought about buying a spray foam machine with a buddy of mine here, but I just don't really want to do that. And as expensive as even just the resin is, it was going to be a lot to do this building. So I kind of decided against that, and I think I'm just going to get the 3-inch closed cell foam 4x8 panels. Actually, that's what I ended up putting around the perimeter of the building here. I put one vertically down and then one horizontal to try to block the heat or the cold from getting into the building. It's like, 2 foot under the slab and then 2 foot along the wall there. So I'm just going to run that stuff, and it's R20, I believe, on the walls, and then on the ceiling. I'm just going to go ahead and put it directly on the ceiling. I kind of like having the tall ceilings in here. I know it would probably cost less to heat it if I just went on the bottom of the trusses, but I like the tall ceiling. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the insulation up there. And yeah, I'm pretty pumped about getting that in. It's fortunately spring here, so it's like in the 40s, so it's not too awful, but I was doing some work out here earlier this year when it was like 20 degrees and it really sucked to work out here. So right now I just have kind of my usual job boxes that kind of roll out whenever I go on a big project. That one, I've got my Field Pro 350 in there at the moment, and then I just am using these guys for storage. So I can show you what I got in them. These are just that's just kind of the stuff that rolls out, again, depending on what type of job I'm going to there. And then this one just has wire, rods, climbing harness, pipe bevelers, tri-stands, just kind of stuff like that again, I didn't really have a good spot for. Got my iron worker set up here in the middle. Yeah, this is a Piranha P50. I think that is where that's gonna live. And I did pick up a brake for the other day. This is really, really neat. Yeah, that brake on there is really cool. You can make all kinds of neat stuff with it like that. I picked up these aluminum tables here super cheap. I got them at a surplus place, and I gave like 500 bucks for 3 of these aluminum tables. They're real heavy. They're 3/4 top, 1/2 inch, everything else, real slick. My Field Pro, or Smart Feeder rather, that runs off the Field Pro there. I've got that set up for carbon steel welding out here. I've got my my Scotchman cold saw, and then I've got a 280 tooth blade in it for cutting for cutting stainless steel tubing. And then let's see, I've got my other Knack box over here, just kind of set with stuff in it. And then I've got a couple other Knack boxes in my other building over here and stashed in my buddy's shop, and a lot of that stuff just needs to come back. I've got a CST 280 here on a cart with an argon bottle just for TIG welding, where I can drag that around the shop. And then I've just set it up for lift arc. So yeah, anywhere you want to go around the shop, just have argon and have that. And the nice thing about the multi-voltage ones like this is it will run off of my 220 single phase there, or 480 or 220 3-phase. So that's really nice. I've got the Miller Matic 355 that I bought out here too. That's the kind of setup for aluminum. It's got a push-pull gun. And I think I'm just going to leave it set up for aluminum. I was using it for flux core. I built a platform out here out of galvanized the other day, and I was running it for flux core, but I think I'm just going to leave it set up for aluminum there, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to feed the wire through the push-pull gun and all that. Another one of these tables here. Oh, my saw. This is my latest purchase here. This is a peerless hydraulic tilt saw. Really so cool. I need to build an in-feed and out-feed table for it, but the bandsaw slides forward and backward hydraulically, and then it tilts left and right hydraulically. So It is a really neat saw here. It's got big coolant tank underneath, and then, yeah, really neat worm drive or worm gear set up there for the tilt. And then I broke it when I drug it home. Right there, I did not strap the head down. So there's a PSA for anybody there that buys one of these and has to ship it, is strap the head down so it can't vibrate, because I broke the casting there. I had to fix that, but it's fixed and back to normal and works beautifully. And then over here, I got my Knack Wagon that just kind of goes everywhere whenever I go out on a big job. I just put a piece of 3/4 aluminum on the top, and there's a big tank I got to build a CIP system with. There's the pump for it, and just some miscellaneous junk on the back wall there. But yeah, and I needed to figure out what I'm going to do. So I've got two big 14-foot tall sliding doors here. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to frame this in and put some insulation, or put some overhead doors that are insulated, or just try to insulate these sliding doors. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. So figure that out. If anybody has any input or a good way to insulate these doors, I'd be interested. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty pumped. As you can see behind me here, it's a whole lot more space than I'm used to. So this is 30 by 40, and then my other shop is 28 by 25 or 28 by 26, something like that. So it is a whole lot more room, and I'm pretty excited about it. Especially get a lot of this stuff, because I've just got junk in the corners here that, you know, I like ladders and stuff like that that were just in here just solely while I'm doing the, you know, working on it. So once that stuff's out of here, I should have a lot more room and more projects. Oh, I guess I got some pack out rollers. Those are real handy. You can just kind of roll them around the shop. It makes a little workbench, and you can have whatever tools you want in them. I need to get some of, they have some ones that pull out that have drawers in them, that those would be really slick. I need to get some of those. But what's really cool, and we'll go ahead and do some live events in here. I have up there, I have an access point where I actually can shoots back to the house, where I've got really good internet out here, so we can go ahead and do some live videos and hang out. Anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the quick tour of the shop here. I'm Darlington Farm. Thank you for watching. Please check back to the channel here.